All right. Welcome to Quarter Twins Weekly Review, everybody.
No way, dude.
This is we're here. We're recording.
What episode number is this? I feel like we haven't said what number episode we're doing in like 5 weeks.
I don't know, man. 46?
Yes.
Yes, this is episode 46. This is Quarter Twins Weekly Review, the only show. Nope, the show with, what is it? The show with only one question.
There you go. He's got it.
Watch anything good lately? But before we get into that question, it is currently April Fool's. I don't have any April Fool's pranks. Other than it's our 1 year anniversary.
Woo woo! Yeah.
And that's not April Fool's. That's true.
It's true.
Did we record on
I think
April 1st?
our first episode was released on April 1st.
It was released on April 1st. So that's not happening this year because we didn't plan that far ahead.
No. Actually, we did plan to do stuff to release.
We did.
On the 1 year anniversary. And
but
then
we didn't do that.
You guys don't share the podcast around. You guys don't spread the love. And neither of us post content on any other platforms aside from Instagram. And clearly that's not enough. So there's not enough people to put the effort in.
Yeah.
On this super
until
hard project.
Until there is one day. We're still holding out hope.
Maybe next year.
We started the podcast. We said we're just going to do this forever. And if it works, it works. And here we are still doing it. So
Yep.
pretty much every week for an entire year. We missed a few here and there. But hey, we did it. We were like,
sounds
if we
like
can get past
a total of 6.
Total of 6. I guess that would make sense.
52 weeks in all.
52 weeks in all. Yeah, this is a good thing we do, I think.
I have fun with it.
We've had a lot of fun for an entire year.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, if you guys, I didn't want to say up front, there are going to be time codes in the description of this episode, you listener, so that if you want to just skip to the good stuff, you can do that. In the description, you can tap on that time code and go to what you want to hear, or potentially avoid spoilers for something that you don't want to hear. Those are in there so that you can speed through. Go ahead.
I have a personal experience I'd like to share from a friend.
Sure.
Fan, listener, and guest of the show, Noah Drury.
Yes. Guest of the show.
Has actually come forward and told me that the chapters on YouTube and as well as the time codes on Spotify were helpful for him to avoid Last of Us spoilers in the previous episode as it pertains to a game he has not played.
Yes.
I believe. Or just not that he hasn't seen the show yet. I think
the second one
waiting to see the show. So
yeah,
it literally does work, people, and you can skip entire sections of the podcast without hurting our feelings because we've literally built it that way so that you guys can skip parts you don't want to hear and get straight to the good stuff you do want to hear instead of saying, Last of Us review, I haven't seen that show, skip entire week.
Yep.
You know?
That's exactly right. So you can see
boom.
Literally everything we talk about in the episode, you will be able to see ahead of time, so you can just hop on in wherever you want. And you can't complain about the show being too long anymore. So
bam, bam, bam.
There you
this
go.
episode is 5 hours long.
Skip to the 1 hour portion you want to hear most. So there are going to be spoilers for many things ahead. So check in there if you haven't seen any of the things we're talking about. What are we talking about today, Joshua? What are we talking about?
Today we're talking about the most beloved movie series in all of Hollywood.
The best series ever.
Led by the most beloved leading man in all of Hollywood. We're talking about John Wick starring Keanu Reeves. The John Wick series, personally, for me, has been only like a month old. I've seen all 4 of them in the last month or so. But I've known, of course, about John Wick throughout its run through pop culture. And it's a global phenomenon.
A phenomenon.
I love phenomenon. That's such a fun word to say, dude. Phenomenon.
Would you say it's phenomenal?
It's a phenomenal phrase. Phenomenon. Yeah. I mean, it's everybody loves it. The movies are so much fun. It's perfect. There are zero flaws.
Yes, I agree.
All right. See you guys.
Dun, 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 dun. That's our music. Yeah, so you saw them all recently. I watched a few of them with you, the first and second one. Yeah, we're just gonna do this. We'll do John Wick first, and then we can see what's after that.
All right.
I saw the first. I think I jumped on the John Wick train when the first two were already out, so I missed the first one when it came out. Then I watched the first two. I think I was in college. That was probably like, it was probably 2020 when I didn't have much else to do. You know, I was like, I'll see these John Wick movies. And then I saw the third one when it came out. Pretty good. And then obviously there's a fourth one now. It's brand new release, smash hit. It kicked Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania right in the butt,
and Shazam
financially, and Shazam, which is it's good actually. Yeah, yeah, I like them. I had a much higher opinion of especially the second one, and then we watched that one together, and I was like, "Woof, this is not as good as I remember." Yeah, if anybody doesn't know what John Wick is, if that's possible, moms, I'm sure you haven't seen John
they're
Wick.
not even gonna watch this episode, bro.
Christy and Sherry, I know that you haven't seen John Wick 1, 2, 3, or 4. They're very violent. You probably wouldn't like them very much.
Just a dude.
It all
killing dudes.
starts. Yeah, it starts in the first one. John Wick. You learn. Well, before you even learn anything about him, he's just a guy driving a car, and then his dead wife gives him a puppy. I forget how that all works.
Sort of a bequeathment. Vocab word.
Good word. There's a puppy that shows up with a letter from his now dead wife, a symbol of her love and whatever. And then these Russian boys like his car, so they break into his house and kill his puppy and take his car. And then the first movie is John Wick killing hundreds of people to get that guy that killed his puppy. And you find out that he was at one time, is it Baba Yaga?
Baba Yaga.
The boogeyman. He was a part of this. In the first one, you don't really know the full scope of it. You just know that he was an assassin of some kind. There's this hotel where you can't kill people in, and you get the idea that this world is pretty big. But the movie at its core is just a guy killing guys to avenge his puppy.
A story everyone can love.
Yes. Quickly, I really like that one. What do you think of that one?
I think it's a all right solo film that doesn't need any sequels.
Yeah, I remember your biggest reaction was when they the Russians capture John Wick, tie him to a chair, and don't kill him, and let him kill them immediately afterwards.
Yeah, it's sort of a running gag problem, where Keanu Reeves is called unlucky, and then manages to survive every encounter with the thickest plot armor I've ever seen.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? I don't know. It's his movie, so, you know.
But, like, just don't put him in a situation where he should be obviously killed.
That's the thing.
That's my thing. It's as simple as that.
You can write a different scenario. Yeah, I agree with that. But I think I gave that one a 10 out of 10.
You gave it a 10.
I saw this one, the most recent one, number 4, and I gave that one a 10 out of 10. The first one's like a 8 out of 10.
Oh. What did I give it?
It's not,
maybe a 6?
Anyway, 6 or something, yeah. The whole kind of premise of the John Wick movies is like, we're just here for the boom, boom, bang, bang, guns and action and stuff.
Boom, boom.
It's a fight choreography showcase. And I think the first one has a lot of good stuff in it in that regard. Number 2, the second one, John Wick 2 chapter 2, as the
John
big
Wick
title
2
says, is kind of the fallout of the first one. Since John left the assassin squad and then came back to avenge his puppy in the first one, there are consequences built into this assassin world. And this other guy who has a little token with the blood of John Wick's thumb on it, and he's like, you have to fulfill your marker or I'm going to kill you. So he has to go kill somebody and do that. But then he's like, you know what? I'm just going to kill this guy anyway. And then they fight for a while. I don't really remember the plot of that one that well. There isn't as much.
So Rami Malek's sister is one of the 12 seats on the high table.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And so he wants that spot because Daddy didn't give him that spot.
Rami Malek. Yeah.
And so Ricardo Scarmarcio says, you kill my sister for me so I can have the seat at the high table. And then John Wick kills John Wick walks into the room and she's like, oh, I guess I'm dead. I'm going to Hannah Baker myself. And that goes down. And then Rami Malek says, he's like, dude, you killed my sister. What the heck? I'm going to kill you, avenge you.
I'm going to kill
with
you
my powers
now.
on the high table. Which obviously, of course he's going to do that. He has to avenge his sister. It makes logical sense.
Of course.
But
it would be a lot easier if he didn't ask him to kill her in the first place, you would think.
But here's my thing with it.
Yeah.
In this world, in this line of work, is it really a capital punishment to like play the game and use your marker to get a spot on the table? Because I understand no one sits above the table, but
they make that very clear.
Yeah, except for one guy who does.
Except for one man, yes.
But he's not really.
He lives out in the desert, and he's a ghost of some kind because he just shows up.
Whatever.
Anyway.
Also, he gets recast in the fourth one and then immediately killed.
He does. Yeah.
I'm not sure what the point of that is. But yeah, he shows up. I just think, like, is this not fair game? Can he not just kill his sister for the spot on the table? He used a marker. Right. It's fine. But maybe that's not how it goes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Full of plot holes.
There's just not, there aren't as many set pieces in the second one that I remember or want to go back to as the first or third or fourth one. There was those, like,
the ruins that they were having that party in.
Yeah.
And it just looked really like a bad Coachella.
Yeah, it's not that interesting to me. Mm-hmm. So
disappointing. 2 out of 10.
They do scenes like that better in the first one and the fourth one. I don't think there's not a club sequence in the third one. I don't think.
No, thank God.
We didn't watch the third one together, so I don't know how you felt about it.
Yeah.
The third one, so at the end of John Wick 2, John Wick 2 chapter.
Yes, John Wick 2 chapter.
Ricardo Scamarcio and John have been fighting this whole movie. And as I said earlier, there's this hotel where you can't kill people in.
The Continental.
It's like the Continental, run by the dad from Hot Rod and Lance Reddick. Rest in peace, Lance Reddick. Great dude. And so at the end of the second one, Ricardo Scamarcio goes to the hotel and is like eating a steak. And he's like, see, John, you cannot kill me. I am in the Continental. And John's like, I'm going to kill you anyway. Bang.
Bang.
He kills him. What happens when you kill somebody in the Continental, you, either get a bullet to your head or you're excommunicado, as they say. Mm-hmm. And you don't have any of your assassin privileges. And there's a big $10 million bounty on your head. And so the third one is like, hey, there's $14 million out for your death. So everybody's going to try to kill you. And that's basically the whole movie, which is pretty sick. How'd you feel about the third one?
The third one was good. The third one I liked.
Yes.
I think it took 3 movies to get enough world building built for me to actually enjoy the plot.
Yeah.
which the plot of all 4 movies is guy kills guys,
Yes.
which is not enough, and also guy says yeah,
Yeah.
which in my theater every time Keanu Reeves said anything, the whole crowd was like woo yeah,
Yes.
and I was like
Same.
what is this? I don't get it. Yeah,
You haven't been around
I'm
for the
thinking
entire.
I'm back.
Yeah,
like-
you haven't been part of the entire cultural
Seriously.
Phenomena.
The phenomenon passed me over.
Of course.
So I just think it's really funny. But
Yeah.
the third one has good set pieces. I like the final fight with all the bulletproof dudes. I think the power scaling is good. At first, no one is bulletproof. And by the 4th movie, everyone is bulletproof.
Everybody, yeah.
Which is fun.
Because they introduced this Kevlar enhanced fabric that apparently everybody has. Because bullets just bounce off of suit jackets.
Yeah. Which I think it's fun because it actually makes the enemies harder for John to kill.
Yes.
Like in the
first one, he's just
Pop,
shot
pop, pop.
to chest, shot to head, dead.
You can only do that so many times. He has to really like Black Widow tackle and grapple everybody.
Yes.
It's fun. It's interesting. The Adjudicator is in this movie, and she is in this movie.
She's like,
let me tell you.
She says, "You boys have been bad boys, and you're in trouble."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna either kill you or just slice you open a bit if you're Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah. I just think it's like it feels like the stakes are actually higher and the high table feels powerful. John Wick loses a finger to try to get out.
Get that sequence with Halle Berry, who's in this movie.
Yeah,
and she
Halle
has
Berry
two
shows up.
dogs, and the dogs just rip people apart. It's pretty fun.
And they pull on these poor stunt actors for like the entire. They're just like on the side of the camera, and they're just like, those poor guys have to pretend to be dead while getting yoinked on by dogs. Scary. But Halle Berry kills a lot of people.
Yeah, I think the third one for a lot of, I've heard a lot of people say it's their least favorite, the third one, out of all of them, because it takes a little bit of a slower pace in the middle when he goes out to the desert and stops killing people for like 10 minutes, and people are like, "Oh, boring."
Dude, I get bored in the action sequences.
He goes to his
So long.
you find out about his kind of where he grew up in this church type place. You don't really find out much about it. He just goes there and he has this symbol thing. It's a cross necklace thing, his ticket. I love that about these movies, because they just like they don't over explain things. They're just like, he has a ticket and it's in the form of a necklace with a cross on it, and he gives it to this woman, and that means for some reason he gets passage somewhere, and they don't really explain it, but you just get the feeling that this world is like has been around for a long time and has all these rules set up.
It's lived in.
Kind of along for the ride.
Yeah.
Lived in. Yeah. He gets there's so many good, the beginning sequence where it's just like 30 minutes of everybody in New York City trying to kill him. And then he goes into that knife shop, and the knife goes into that guy's eye. It's pretty sick. And then there's
that was actually pretty gruesome.
He starts riding a horse, and he's on a horse being chased by guys on motorcycles, which is really cool. There's just a lot of good stuff. The dogs stuff, which I said, and then the third act, the final boss battle, is Lance Reddick and John Wick just freaking shotgunning dudes in the Continental.
But there's also the guy from Iron Chef comes in, and the bald guy from the sushi shop.
I don't. Oh yes.
He comes in.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah, so he's like, "I'm like you, John. I kill people real good too." And
Yeah.
I'ma kill you real good.
I'm a huge fan of you, John. Can't wait to kill you.
And
Yeah, he was
so
fun.
that guy is in Iron Chef. He says LA cuisine. For many years. I was like, oh hey, I know exactly who that is. So that was cool. And the big room full of mirrors and glass, but he's able to like hide among the mirrors and glass. Just fun. Similar to the second final boss set piece, but not as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just liked the third one. I think it's good. The second one is really bad.
Yeah, it's just I feel like that one it doesn't hold up as well, especially now with the fourth one being out, which is so much better than all of them. I think. Spoiler alert! I think it's the best one so far. I mean, the recency bias abounds.
Are there going to be more?
Apparently. Okay, let's get into it. We like John Wick 1. I like that one. We don't like 2. We really like 3. John Wick 4 is new. I thought it was the best one. Really, really good. The main thing that it has over the first one for me personally is really nice cinematography. And really nice colors.
Pretty.
And I like the way it looks a lot. And all of the obvious action scenes are really dope. Especially one particular action scene that really just kicked my butt.
It was awesome.
So, what we're gonna start with though, because we're doing the old thing we used to do, guys. We're back into a new release discussion where we're gonna do the bad, good, funny thing we used to do. So we're gonna talk about the bad first. Yes. What's bad about this movie? I feel like we agree on these things that we have both written here. It's a little long, wouldn't you say?
Is it like over 3 hours? I didn't actually look at the runtime.
It kind of feels like it. It's only 2 hours and I think 39 minutes maybe. Let me see. But it feels very long. I didn't have a problem with it in the 2 hours and 49 minutes long. That's so long for a John Wick movie. It is too long. I didn't feel like it was too long in the moment, but I can definitely tell in rewatches it's going to be almost impossible to just sit through the entire thing because it's just like it's just set piece after set piece for a 2 hour, almost 3 hours, and it just gets I'm sure it will get a little bit much.
Yeah, it's too long. It's too long.
Yeah, I was in a packed theater as well, and yeah, it was just a fun theater experience. I've never been in like an R-rated action movie like setting like that where people are like cheering and stuff. Like it's usually just the Marvel movies and whatever. But it was fun to be in a higher energy theater again. Yeah, the my main negative with the entire series is the freaking dubstep music. It's part of the brand at this point.
Yeah. You don't like that?
Every time John Wick goes on a killing spree, there's raging dubstep. And it's not for me. I prefer other types of music. And that's just a little tiny nitpick. So I don't have much else to say about it other than it's a lot of dubstep. Yeah.
I see.
Anything else you need to say here?
Yeah, Bill Skarsgård's French accent.
What do you mean? It's really
great.
Good.
I didn't love it.
I loved him, though. I loved him.
I thought the character was good. I just don't know why they made him French.
How tall and awkward he looks, and he's just not menacing in the slightest.
I can tell that he's Pennywise
French.
the clown.
Yes. What a great choice.
Poor guy. He's going to be Pennywise forever.
I like him a lot, though. He's so silly.
I didn't hate the character at all. I just think it's funny that they made him French.
I enjoyed the fact that they... Well, anyway, finish your anything negative you have to say.
Oh, yeah. So, ow. Freaking
oh, no.
eyeball.
He stabbed himself in the eye.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that, folks.
John Wick just came in and stabbed you in the eye.
Seriously, what the heck is this? Freaking eyelash or something fell out of my eyeball. Oh, and into my eyeball. Okay.
Oh boy.
So they go to Osaka, Japan in the fourth one, and that's where all the pretty light blue, light red color is with the cherry blossoms. Of course, it's gorgeous. Tokyo and night.
Beautiful.
Well, it's Osaka, not Tokyo. But I was very disappointed in this set piece because Tokyo is, or Osaka again, sorry, Osaka is awesome. And they have this cool continental hotel, and the vibes are on, and it's great. All the action is there. We get Hiroyuki Sanada. I want to call him Sawano because there's another Hiroyuki that I know, but not the action. He makes music. Sanada.
Hiroyuki Sanada,
yes.
I believe.
He's in it, and he's real good with the sword. And he has a good fight with Donnie Yen, who again plays a blind guy, which we'll get to later.
Donnie Yen. Wow.
Very, very good performance from him. But here's the thing. Goji, I think is his name, Hiroyuki's character, has a daughter who is the concierge of the hotel. Her name is Akira. She is awesome.
She's very cool.
She's very interesting character. She's got the vibes. The vibes are there. And she watches her father perish at the hands of Donnie Yen, whose name is Kane, because he's blind and carries a cane,
I guess.
But it's not spelt like Cain, it's spelt like Raising Canes. Anyway, she watches her father die to this guy. She's gonna try to kill him, and he says, "No, live." And she walks away. And then she shows up again to see John Wick, and she's like, You did this. And then she leaves and literally does not return.
Yeah.
And I was so pissed. I thought this was going to be a buddy cop with John Wick and Akira going to kill everybody, especially Donnie Yen. And I was like, this is actually going to be awesome. And then she does not return.
She leaves the movie.
I cried for the rest of the runtime, which was so long. I thought for sure she would show up again.
And the worst thing about it is there is a third character that is a part of the entire movie. And it probably should have been the other one, Akira. It probably should have been her. Not saying that I didn't like Mr. Nobody, but Akira would have been
definitely could have been Akira, and it wasn't, and it really pissed me off. And this Mr. Nobody guy has a dog partner, and the dog is probably the same dog from the Halle Berry's pair of dogs. Yeah, it's like the same breed. They just breed, like, let's do the same thing where the dog eats guys' balls. That's funny, right? Come on, guys. You had it.
You had everything. You had it all right there.
You had a 9 out of 10 from me.
I know.
And then you throw it away. I will say the backpack Kevlar and the lever action and revolver, that was fun.
Everything he did was cool, but yeah.
He just wasn't Akira. I wanted it to be Akira so bad.
Yeah, I feel you.
It was disappointing.
Yeah. But she does get a very great action scene. Yeah, good things. There are lots of good things. Yeah. Keanu Reeves is in it, obviously. He's pretty good. He has
probably more lines in this movie than the other three combined.
He says, yeah. And he says that a few times. I don't really know what else he says. He says, amen.
Bring me home.
Oh, yes. We'll get to that eventually. I already said great theater experience. Let's just try to
Whoa.
talk through all of the.
I have one more negative.
Oh,
with the revolving door of set pieces, we also get
Yes.
a small break where he goes back to Belarus to confront his family again and
Yes,
get
'cause
his
he needs
cross
that.
so he can get his
Mhm.
crest so that he can be so he can be sponsored in a duel to kill the Marquise.
Yes.
Now, hear me out here.
Uh-huh.
The Belarusians are a family that sit upon the high table. One
They
of
do.
12
Seats.
families that
Yes.
sit upon the high table.
Uh-huh.
They sponsor his duel. They put themselves out there against the Marquis, who has been uplifted by the high table to like power hitherto undreamt of. And they go against him, so to speak, to sponsor John Wick in this duel to the death. And then John Wick receives no assistance and no help from his entire family on his quest to kill 100 people up the staircase to get to the duel. Where are they? I understand that John Wick is going to win every fight, no matter what. And people who are standing farther away will not shoot until they are within his kill circle.
Yes.
Just
Correct.
for the fun of it. They're just going to stand way in the back and pretend like they don't exist, but they're still going to be in the shot, you know?
Yeah.
So it looks menacing, but he's only ever really in 1v1s or 1v2s. And he's going to win all those. So, like, don't outnumber him because he might actually lose, and we can't have that. So, like, just where is the help? He has a whole family literally sponsoring him, backing him in this duel. And they're like, okay, good luck. See you later. Where are they?
I don't know.
They don't appear. And it's literally Tonks from Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah.
She's in Game of Thrones, by the way. She appears in Game of Thrones. And in John Wick 3, the guy who makes the gold coins is in Game of Thrones as well.
Oh, wow. There you go.
I don't know if I couldn't remember if there was any
cameos
in John Wick 2, but
probably not.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
One. Okay, yeah. So let's go through. Let's break down this whole movie. Talk about set pieces and why we're here. Why are we here? What is John doing? He's still excommunicado. They haven't caught him yet, so they're just like, we gotta do something about this guy. This guy, John, is just ruining everything. We gotta get rid of him. And there's this guy, the Marquis, played by Bill Skarsgård, as you mentioned. I don't know. I don't know what part he plays in the high table. If he sits in one of the seats of the high table, or if he's just there in the upper circles.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think he's
I don't
like
know if it matters that much. He's the fist or something, because he sends out his guys to go find and kill John Wick, and that's the active antagonist.
There you go.
So yeah, they're at the Continental. So the first thing they do is blow up the New York Continental, so they can't come back there to send a message. We're after you, John. You can't come back to your New York Continental. Anyway, he goes to Osaka for some reason, as we said, and the people from the Marquis people are there. They fight, and so the whole movie is basically that in different set pieces for the entire thing. These guys are just after him, and he basically figures out John is doing this because he wants revenge against the table, essentially, because they pissed him off for some reason that I don't really remember. That's the thing. I don't really remember anything about these movies other than the big bangs.
Well, they
boom booms.
in order to get him to come back, to be unexcommunicated, they had him kill Winston, who was the manager of the New York Continental. But then
he didn't do that.
He didn't do that. And then Winston was like, "Oh, sweet, I'll take this opportunity and shoot him off the roof." But he lived.
That he survived. Yeah. He falls off a few roofs.
Yeah. He literally, like, his back, okay, picture this. His back hits right on the small of his back, in between his butt and his shoulder blades. Hits the back of a fire escape after falling like 30 feet. He's dead.
Yeah.
He's
died.
dead. And then he continues to fall and hits his face on a dumpster and then hits the ground.
Yes.
He's dead. But he's fine.
No, he's not. He's John Wick. So anyway, he figures out that the only way he can win this thing is by he can make the stop, essentially. He can finally get out forever and not have to worry about any of this. Is he has to challenge the Marquis to a duel of to the death. Because in this world of assassins, there's all these rules, and one of the things you can do is apparently challenge somebody to a duel, and that's
the old
good.
The old,
yeah. The general guy from the Punisher series is in there, or Daredevil series is in there.
Yes.
He wears a hat, and he's like, "These are the rules, kids." Anyway, so yeah, challenges him to a duel, and then they're like, "Okay, you pick the location. It's at this church. You got to be there by sunrise. And then he has to survive until sunrise, and all these people are trying to kill him, and then he's got to go up this huge flight of stairs." And there are a bunch of people there. They're trying to kill him, and he almost gets there. And then Big Boy comes in and kicks him all the way back down the stairs, and you see him roll down every single stair. And it was just roarous laughter. Yeah, he eventually gets back up because Kane is like, "I'll help you." Because the Marquis, this is going off the rails, but there's so many there's so many little nooks and crannies of the story. The Marquis is like, "Yeah, I'll duel you." Kane, duel him. You have to duel him. Apparently, if there's another rule that says if you're challenged to a duel, you can choose somebody to be your proxy. So he's like, "Kane, you got to kill him, or I'm going to kill your daughter." So yeah, they both won out. They get to their duel, and 30 paces, right? It starts with?
Yes.
And then they shoot each other, flesh wounds, 20 paces, shoot each other, flesh wounds. And then they get to the last one, and Kane shoots John Wick in a critical blow. And it looks like John shoots, and then the Marquis is like, I want to finish him. I want to finish him off. Let me finish him. And he comes in and he's like, I'm going to kill you now. And then John Wick's like, I didn't even shoot my gun. And he shoots him in the head.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Wow. But he still dies. Yeah, spoiler alert.
Yep. John Wick
he dies dead. And then he's done. And then Winston is maybe his father or something.
What?
Because at the end, he goes to his grave and Winston's there and he's like, goodbye, son. So there's that.
I did not interpret it that way at all.
A little nod.
I figured he was just like speaking in Russian because Jardani.
That's true.
But that could be maybe. I doubt it.
It could be. That's just the vibe I got.
I see.
But we'll probably never know. Yeah, the best thing about this movie is there's this sequence towards the end where the camera is all of a sudden up top. It's a top-down view, and you see John Wick going through rooms, and he has these exploding bullets, and it's insanely cool.
It was awesome.
There's not much else to say about it other than it's super cool.
It genuinely was like, this is an inventive, new, fun way to do an action sequence.
Yes.
It feels like a video game.
Yes.
Maybe they should make a John Wick video game.
They should.
That would be way more better than all of the movies combined.
Maybe.
Because then the long action sequences wouldn't feel like they're 20 years long.
Right. Yeah, they go for so long.
Here's my thing with the whole John Wick series. Okay. After you've seen John Wick kill 5 guys, you've seen him kill 100 guys. And you're going to sit there and watch John Wick kill like 500 guys in these movies.
Yeah.
So if it's 5 to 100 and it's 500, weesh, that's 500 hundreds, which is 50,000, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's a lot of people. And
It is.
it just, like, sure, some of them are inventive, like, ooh, he's going to have nunchucks this time.
Yeah.
But, like, at the end of the day, he still has to shoot everybody in the face, and he's going to do it, and it's just like, okay, there's no tension for me 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Which is why I like the third one so much, because he has to use a marker, and he has to use his ticket. He's like really up against the wall that whole time. It feels like he might actually lose some of these fights.
Yeah, for sure. I like that in this one we get Kane, and he has a very unique fighting style because obviously he's blind.
Mm-hmm.
And he has to use like those doorbell things.
Those were cool.
He's blind, but he essentially has superpowers. He's essentially his character from Rogue One because he has the Force.
Also, at the end of the movie, he is in a duel where he must aim a gun.
Yes.
And he cannot see. But he definitely does hit John Wick all 3 times.
Yes.
But that's fine.
In all the right places.
Mm-hmm. But it's whatever.
Yeah, there's the scene in Berlin with this guy. How would you describe him? He looks like the Penguin from the Batman, but he's German and has gold teeth. That's a really
German
fun sequence.
kingpin.
They built that entire nightclub with all the waterfalls and everything. That's a real thing they built.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you'd see John Wick kill people a bunch of times.
Yep. I did like the gambling scene.
That was fun, yeah. That was really fun. Really tense.
Mm-hmm.
And then, he... Oh, it's the sequence at the... There's a name for that big roundabout in Europe. I don't know what it is.
Des Torres de Mont de la Rue.
Yes, that. There's, And what I loved about it is that the people just trying to get home from work they just keep driving and they're like honking their horns like, guys, get out of the road.
Get out of the road.
Like, I see somebody's head be exploded and they're just like, guys, move.
They don't brake either.
No, they just
hit
keep
people
driving.
And keep driving.
Nobody
John Wick
stops.
gets hit by like 10 cars.
Also, the police do not exist in the John Wick universe.
No.
There's the only policeman we see is the guy in the first 2 movies who's like, "You working again, John?"
Yeah.
And then that's it. It's crazy.
The amount of shootouts in public areas.
They never show up, which I guess from the writing standpoint, like they can't because I feel like all of the assassins would just leave, and then your movie's over. But
they're all paid off across.
When you
the
start thinking about
world.
the details like that, it's very funny. It's a funny movie, I guess. There were some funny things. Sometimes you laugh because John Wick, like you described, falls out of the roof of a building and he's like Captain America. Like Captain America falls out of a building like that and he's fine. But he's Captain America.
Yeah, he's super soldier.
He is a super soldier. This is just Keanu Reeves in a suit and he's just like throwing himself off buildings.
It's armor. No.
It is armored.
No.
Yeah.
His back is broken. He gets hit by like 100 cars and just keeps walking. Like, I don't care if you're a stuntman. You roll down all those stairs, you're gonna have a concussion. Your leg's gonna get caught up in one of those stair banisters. You're gonna break an ankle. John Wick is fine.
He's fine. The German guy was funny.
I thought he was good.
What else is funny? What else is funny? It's a funny movie.
I thought it's a comedy. I think it's funny. Personal experience. I've only seen Donnie Yen in 2 movies, and both movies he plays a blind guy who fights with a stick. Yeah,
he's great, as far as I know.
Yeah, I mean he's good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He's a good actor and a great martial artist. But I just think it's funny that in the 2 Western roles he's had that I've seen, He's a blind guy.
Yeah. You wonder, like, how much is, like, did he choose that? Or are we just putting him in those roles?
And now, from now on,
reason.
you must be blind in every movie. There was the I Am Klaus guy that showed up in the middle of the movie. And says I am Klaus 3 times. That's his entire script. And he slaps John Wick across the face with a big wooden club.
Yep.
And then delivers him to the gambling guy.
It's great.
I am Klaus.
I really like Lawrence Fishburne in these movies because he's having the time of his life with the very little, like, he doesn't get to say very much, but he really eats up his script.
Yeah. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here.
Yeah. It's the second one where he's like, somebody please get this man a gun. It's great.
He's living it up.
Guy. He really is. He doesn't even remember that he's in a Marvel movie. It's very funny.
Yeah.
What do you give it out of an art or a fart? I say it art. It's an art piece. It's cinema. It's filmmaking.
Art is rarely so binary, man.
Yeah.
But I can't say that this was a fart, dude.
That's right. That's the beauty of this scale. Is you got to give it an art.
But you know what? Or Love and Thunder was art too. So
that's true for you, for sure.
We're gonna rank these episodes or what?
Yes, these episodes for sure.
John Wick episode 4.
Episodes. Yeah, let's rank them. John Wick ranked. Title of the video.
Bam, bam.
Do you want to go?
Yeah, let me hit you with the obvious first one. The worst movie is number 2, John Wick 2 chapter.
John Wick 2 chapters, the worst one.
Rami Malek just doesn't really fit the John Wick universe, in my opinion. I think
certainly he for sure doesn't.
Yeah, I think
especially because he's not in that movie.
He's not in the movie. Just a general note. I don't think you should cast Rami Malek in a John Wick movie.
Fair enough.
I think the marker idea was really cool, and they used it in a really boring and terrible way. Yeah. He could have just been like, I'm going to give you this marker. You have to go kill this guy in prison or something. And then he has to like go into prison. Then he can't have guns and he has to kill everybody with his hands.
Ooh,
isn't that a way cooler movie I just came up with right now on the spot?
That is cool.
So there you go. Number 2 is the worst one. Jordan, your thoughts?
Yeah, it is the worst one. It's the bottom of the list for sure. I probably won't watch that one ever again.
Yeah, that's good.
To be totally honest.
Good call.
Yeah. Number 3. The third on the list.
Oh.
I'm gonna say is the first one.
I agree.
Second from the bottom is the first one.
I agree.
That's gonna be a hot take for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But we're definitely in the minority in that way. Everybody's all hype on the first one. And I apparently was too because I gave it a 10 out of 10
You
for some
give it
reason.
a 10.
Yeah, out of like the thing is okay, let's finish the list and then I'll tell you my my spiritual awakening I had.
Okay.
About my rating system. Second slot, what's your thought?
I'm going to give it to number 4.
There you go. I'm going to give it to number 3 because I really like the fourth one.
And I'll put number 3 at the top.
Who knows? I'll put number 4 at the top. There you have it.
There you have it, folks.
We ranked them.
Boom.
Best episode we've ever done. Yeah, I just when I rate movies now, I've settled in. This is my method now, just so everybody knows.
This is official.
I'm gonna rate movies how I feel in the moment. Okay, I'm not gonna be all because I have this podcast to be like, here's what I really think about it. But it's just specifically for our Twitter account. I'm rating things how I feel in the moment. So there you go.
Wow. And me, I will be rating things on objective truth, in fact, on the Twitter account.
Right. Because I watched the first one and I was like, wow, that's 10 out of 10. And then I watched 3 more John Wick movies. I was like, you know what? That's not very actually as good as these other ones. So there you go.
Yeah. I just think that the writers of the John Wick movies need to figure out how to make it more like, I don't know. John Wick should be dead in the first one. How many people does he kill? Get all of those people together, get a big circle around John, and just shoot him until he's dead. It's not that hard. You get how many movies have we done where he fights one or two, maybe three people at a time? Yeah. And these scores of people he guns down, they just come in one after another. Just bring all of them in at the same time, get a big circle around him, and shoot him till he doesn't get up again. Like, it really boggles my mind that these guys are so bad. Or get one grenade. There's not a single grenade, grenade launcher, rocket launcher. There's not a single explosive device used against John. He's not God. You can kill him. No one shoots at his head. I mean, I understand he does the bulletproof thing across his face,
which I appreciate that they at least account for that.
But come on.
Let's talk about the future of the John Wick series, because apparently the studio wants to make another one. Which, okay, if you didn't hear me say it earlier, spoiler alert for the end of John Wick Chapter 4, John Wick dies. He dies. Does he though?
He doesn't die on screen, as far as I can tell.
He doesn't really die on screen. He's still breathing when we see him last, and then it cuts to his gravestone. I think he should be dead. You could make
one stars Akira.
Yeah, you can make more with just because obviously there's so much that happened before the first one. You could do prequels for sure. I don't think you should. I think we're bored of this by now. But they apparently have announced spin-offs with, they announced a spin-off called The Ballerina, which, starring Ana de Armas, from one of the ballerinas from the church place. But everybody's like, we're tired of Ana de Armas. Okay, we don't want that.
Man,
I'm not tired of her.
She really screwed up with Blonde, didn't she?
Yeah.
That was
apparently.
A bad idea.
I didn't see it. I think she's great. She's great.
Yeah.
But
she was good in Skyfall.
No, the other one.
Spectre.
No Time to Die. Nope. No Time to Die.
Casino Royale.
Close, but not really.
Goldfinger.
She's really good in No Time to Die, and she's great in Blade Runner 2049, and she's great in other things.
Knives Out.
Potentially. Knives Out.
There you go. You got it.
I forgot about that one. She's great in that.
One of your favorite movies ever. Probably.
Yes. It is great. It's not in my top 10, but it's great.
Did John Wick bust into your top 10 favorite movies of all time? A top 5 theater experience, it says here on the Google Doc.
John Wick 4, specifically.
Yes.
Top 5 theater experience, for sure. No, it's
Have you been only to the theaters 5 times? There was 10 people in my theater. And
mine was packed, and it was great.
I missed the opening weekend, I guess. And I saw it at 3 p.m. on a Friday.
I went with my friends. We went on a Friday night, and it was packed. We went to the Dolby Cinema, and it was loud and beautiful as ever.
Yeah.
See, you might have gathered this about me. If a movie has vibes, nothing matters to me.
Yeah.
You've probably gathered this. If the vibes aren't there, I'm not into it. If the vibes are there, I'm into it. And this movie's got vibes, especially in the theater when it's loud.
Avatar: The Way of Water has vibes, and every time you watch it, it gets worse. I don't understand this.
Well, that's the thing. We can talk about that. I bought Avatar: The Way of Water on digital because it's out on digital. And it's not any worse of a movie. It's just so freaking long. Mm-hmm. It is so long. It's longer than this movie we just talked about. And almost impossible to just watch in a single sitting when you're at your house and you could just go do something else. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not as immersive as an IMAX. Like, I'm over here. That's my TV. It's like, it's still beautiful, but like,
Is it?
I
See,
remember why I didn't vibe with the first Avatar until I saw it in theaters. Because when I saw it on my TV in 720p, I was like, this is dumb.
720p.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. The vibes were captured in the theater. And what if I didn't watch it again for like a year?
That's
because I haven't seen it yet since I watched it.
I
in
love
the theater.
rewatching things. I rewatch things a lot. That's also a thing.
He certainly doesn't like watching new things recommended to him.
That's true. It's harder to do.
Yes.
And that's, I'm consistent with that because I don't like ordering new things on the menu. I'll get the same thing every time if I can. I don't like going to new restaurants that much. I'll go to the same restaurant every time. I don't like listening to new music that much or trying new podcasts that much. I like listening to the same things over and over again.
No. We like trying new podcasts, and we enjoy people trying our new podcast.
Yeah, I mean, if you're here trying it for the first time, that's great. But I'm not going to recommend you go listen to a different podcast.
Oh,
I'm going to say,
just
stick right here.
Yes.
Listen to this one forever.
That makes sense. Okay, yeah,
Yes.
just go back to the beginning and disregard all audio problems.
We have so many episodes, a year's worth almost. So close to an entire year's worth of weekly episodes.
Plus some fun little extra things on the YouTube channel.
That's true. That's true.
So
we got gaming happening. We got a couple other things. So
I don't think I've released any gaming videos on here. I did
the
PC unboxing.
We have a gaming video on your channel.
Yes.
Yeah, the PC unboxing. I did a video.
Where is the Jordan YouTube channel?
I don't know. It doesn't exist.
You streamed a game recently?
I did.
Let's edit up some content and put it on the tube.
Maybe I will. It was fun.
Inspire me. I haven't uploaded anything in a long time.
Yeah. I broke out Battlefront 2 again because it's a great game. And I'm one of the sad few that still play it. And it depends on the day. Some days it's a toxic hellscape, and the other days it's pretty fun. So do you have anything else you want to say before you wrap it up?
We watched an episode of Mandalorian.
Oh yeah.
There was a whole episode there. Bringing the plot together. I like it.
Pretty good.
In other news,
Rebels,
my dad
came in.
Whatever. Who cares?
Who cares? Nobody cares about
Twitter.
Rebels.
Twitter is alight with love for this guy. I don't know where these people came from, but there's been little sprinkles.
Everybody
of Rebels.
loves Rebels.
They're the people that are like, Attack of the Clones is the best Star Wars movie. I hate it. It's not good.
Would you believe me if I told you that I asked one of my coworkers the other day? I might have told this story already.
I don't think so. Maybe.
We were just talking, getting to know each other. I was like, what's your favorite movie? Well, he asked me first, what's your favorite movie? I said, it depends on the day. I said Blade Runner 2049. Because I get tired of just saying Star Wars.
Of course. I understand.
And then I asked him, what's your favorite movie? And he said, it's got to be Revenge of the Sith. And I said, your favorite movie of all time, I mean. Like, I'm talking...
Yeah,
like,
just
did you hear what I said?
Movie.
Like, it's your favorite, and it's a movie, and one of the... of all time, you have all time to choose from.
You, gag in your mouth a little?
We talked about it for a long time, because I was just like, dude, are you serious right now? Like, really? Tell me what that's like. What movies have you seen?
Yeah, I've only seen one movie, Star Wars Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. And Minions. And this is my favorite.
And the Emoji Movie.
Oh, my.
My goodness.
Yeah, Mandalorian's popping off, I guess. I don't know. I'm here for it. It's not something I am when Andor was coming out, I was up at 8 a.m. on Wednesdays watching Andor. I'm just like, we'll see the Mandalorian. What happened in this one? It was, I don't even remember. What happened?
The guy from... They go to Navarro, and save Navarro from the pirates.
Oh, the pirate's back. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
The guy who's like a tree. Groot with
like
leaves.
Yeah.
And that ship they had was awesome.
Yeah.
It looked like a giant actual pirate ship. It was cool. Yeah, I don't really care about the A plot as much.
Yeah. Because the armorer lady is like, hey, Bo-Katan, actually, you're the savior of Mandalore. Let's go.
Yeah.
Basically. You saw the mythosaur. Let's freaking go right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go get that place back.
Yeah.
She takes off her helmet, essentially. She says she can exist in both the
she
the
walks
way.
in both worlds.
Yeah, she walks in both worlds.
Yeah.
Helmet on, helmet off.
I just really like the Mandalore.
Whoa!
And I don't really care about the main plot anymore with Grogu.
Sure.
I don't really care. The Order 66 stuff was fun, I guess. But I just like, you have it right there with all the Mandalore stuff. Just do that. Give me more of this. The show is called The Mandalorian.
And it's really funny when you remember that the last season ended with Grogu going away.
Mm-hmm.
And then they could have just not had him in this because he doesn't really need to be in this. But they brought it back.
It's fine.
In a different show, as we've said many times.
Also, my dad just finished season 1 of The Mandalorian. And I didn't ask him specifically what his thoughts were, but I strongly disliked the first season the second time around.
That's so sad. It's so good, though.
It's so episodic.
You said it was episodic last week, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, here, we're going to go do this thing, and we're going to go do this thing.
Yeah,
and it's just like, I prefer stories than self-contained escapades.
You know, that's like your opinion, man. It's really fun.
And speaking of self-contained escapades, I started rewatching Community.
Oh, nice.
That's a good show right there. Makes me laugh every time. Funny show.
I believe you. You. I'll take your word for it.
You still haven't seen?
Nah, I don't know if I ever will. But
you should watch.
I might. How many seasons are there?
6 seasons.
Okay. That's not that bad.
The first 3 are like 20 episodes, and then the third 3 are like 13 each. The 4th season, gas leak year.
Yes.
It's a joke. You don't get.
I don't get it. Yeah.
You would if you watch the show. It's super funny. It really is.
That's great.
The first couple episodes are, a little Parks and Rec. Okay, kind of getting
Parks and Rec.
A little getting you into the characters. It's like our main character spends an episode with each of the other main characters, one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, it's just straight hijinks, good times, vibes. It's good. I like it a lot.
I read another book. That's my only other thing to contribute to the conversation.
Okay.
I read a graphic novel from the 90s by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. It's called Batman: The Long Halloween.
Ooh.
And what that is, this is the best Batman book I've read so far. I mentioned I hadn't really found one that I liked. I like this one a lot. This was a major inspiration for the film The Batman from 2022. If you
I've
remember.
heard that you enjoy that one.
Something I don't really talk about much, but I do enjoy it quite a bit. It's a pretty good one. This book, The Long Halloween, it takes place over 8 chapters, I believe. 8 they were released in their little chapter. What would you call that? If the whole thing's a graphic novel, it was just a comic book. It's just that, the one section of it. Anyway, it is a story about there's a serial killer on the loose.
Oh, no.
And he or she is killing somebody during every major holiday for an entire year. Every holiday, Christmas, New Year's, Halloween, St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, 4th of July.
Someone's going
Murder
down.
happens.
Yeah.
And the serial killer is killing members from the Falcone crime syndicate family.
See.
And yeah, so it's a story that revolves around two crime families, the Falcones and the Maronis.
Mm-hmm.
You know these names from popular Batman movies. Salvatore the Boss Maroni and Carmine Falcone, yes, are the heads of the families, and somebody's after the Falcones. You got to figure it out, says Batman. And Catwoman's around for a lot of the movie. She's poking her nose in the business, and yeah, it's really good. I loved it. I thought it was really good. It's Batman, Jim Gordon, and Harvey Dent are the three that are working together to try to figure out who this killer is, and you get a little origin of the Two-Face with Harvey Dent.
Oh.
You get the origin of Two-Face with Harvey Dent. And yeah, it takes some twists and turns. The killer's not who you think it is. It keeps you on your toes.
It was Batman.
It was Batman the whole time. It was actually Alfred. Yeah, it's from the 90s. The art is really, really nice to look at. I recommend. If you're trying to find a Batman book to read that one. That's my recommendation for the day. Yeah, really good.
I passed page 400 in Dune. So your time's almost up.
I was scrolling through HBO Max and I saw Game of Thrones, and that's as close as I got to watching it.
Wow, that's a big step.
Yeah.
You're almost there.
Season 2 of House of the Dragon is on the way, I heard, or it will be soon.
I'm very excited. The first season was fire.
That's what I hear.
I
Fire from the dragons.
Yeah. I kind of think you should start with House of the Dragon, since you've already started it.
I've started it, yeah.
And it is officially a prequel. Also, Game of Thrones spoils House of the Dragon. So, because it does take place in the future, and they talk about the history. So,
as you would.
Of course, at the same time, Season 2 isn't out yet. So the ending of House of the Dragon is what will be spoiled. So,
yes.
Not Season 1, like the end.
The very end.
The outcome.
Yeah.
Of the Dance with Dragons. Yes. So, get excited. We're getting closer and closer to the inevitable heat death of the universe, which coincides with me finishing Dune. So that's fun and exciting.
Yeah.
And this has been episode 46 of Quarter Twins Weekly Review, where we weekly review something, or let me try that again. We review something weekly, or we review the week.
Yes, it's twofold.
Yes.
And those are the two folds.
A double entendre, if you will.
As they say.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And, this has been this has been a review this week.
Yes.
And we've reviewed this week the John Wick series.
Every John Wick.
All 4 of them. If you're watching this in the future and there's a 5th one and it stars Akira, you can probably skip to that episode and see me super hype about it.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I'm just going to say that happens, and that's great, and I'm excited about it.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
And Donnie Yen can come back too.
Yeah.
And it's just about them, but the movie's still called John Wick. He's literally not in it or mentioned at all.
Shadows of John Wick.
Yes. With that being said, thank you guys so much for listening, watching. Follow us on the accounts listed below our heads. Almost all of them are at Quarter Twins, except for Twitter, which is, again, at 25PCT, 100 PCT,
everybody.
as we are 25%, 100% exactly the same.
Don't forget that. That's why we're here.
The whole thing.
That, yeah.
I have been Joshua, That has been Jordan.
That's me.
We have been the Quarter Twins. We'll see you guys next week for whatever it is that we're going to talk about.
Mario.
Happy 1 year. Oh my gosh, do I have to see Mario?
Yeah, dude.
Jeepers.
And Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I actually do want to see that one. People are kind of raving about it, so I kind of want to go see
Let's
it.
go.
I like Chris Pine. He's not the worst guy in the world. He got spit on by Harry Styles.
Allegedly.
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 All right. See you guys next week. Bye.